Okay, everybody, welcome back to Gordon's Garage. And in this episode, I've got my pack-a-sack drink going on. I've got me a whole sack full of snacks here, and we're hitting the road. We're going to take a two-hour road trip out to Lubbock and pick up the newest addition, a real addition to Gordon's Garage. So this one is going to be a little different, not a sewing machine. Come on, guys. I know y'all are probably disappointed about that. As soon as I can find my keys here and get this truck started, we're going to get on the road. Let's get to driving. Okay, everybody, I made it here to Lubbock. We're here at Family Power Sports or something like that. Awesome place. They've got all kinds of stuff, everything you want to look at. Anyways, I'm here looking at a new toy. What do you think? I think this one right here is mine. I'm not sure. Have to go inside and check. But here, let me flip you around and let you take a closer look at it. I don't know, I think this one's probably going to be mine. Look at that shock. That is insane. I'm not one of these for neon colors, but man, this really does say something. Okay, so my budget, I think, is not here, but maybe there. Look at the price before you get all hungry for one of these. You must, and I mean it's a must, to get these bad boys. You might not realize it, but they're wrapped with LED lights. That's right, them suckers light up. That's gonna be awesome. Okay, everybody, I'm in Lubbock. I finished the deal. We got the new project. It's on the trailer right now as we speak, right there behind the truck. No, you can't look yet. Gonna have to wait till we get home, all right? So let's make this road trip back to the house. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Gordon, I just saw the double-decker bus. You just gone way too far. But honestly, this is actually in Texas. Yeah, there's a London, Texas. I'm not actually in London, Texas. But anyways, yes, you were mistaken. That was the double-decker bus. Anyways, I'm about halfway there. The rest of the trip's gonna be pretty boring. A lot of flat land and nothing to see. Anyways, this is gonna go real quick on the video for you guys. I had to stop and clean all the bugs off the old windshield because the front of the camera that was showing out the windshield, I don't think was getting a good view. So anyways, back in the truck we go. And let's hit the road. We're gonna be there in just a jiffy. Here we go. All right, everybody, we've got back in the truck this morning. Got the new addition to the shop at home, but it needs a little help. I've got to go to the store and pick up some stuff, and then we'll head back and get to work on revealing this new addition to Gordon's Garage. So yeah, let me run across town real quick and we're going to get started. Okay, everybody, so I've gotten back home. I've got that stuff I needed. I think I've stalled as long as I can stall. Let's go ahead and introduce y'all to the newest addition to Gordon's Garage. Now, brace yourselves. We'll spin y'all around here. There she is. You're looking at a 2001 VFR. This is a V4. It's 800 cc's. It is the newest addition to Gordon's Garage. And I'm going to work this thing over, and we're going to go over this thing. I'm going to take the camera down and let's take a trip around this thing and let you see exactly what we got. All right, so first things you notice is the exhaust system. That is not a stock muffler. It does have baffles in it. It's not extremely loud. It looks like it would be, but I'll show you what accessories came with this bike here in a minute. Let's see. First, the OU sticker on the side. Somebody put those on there. They just trying to put their little team logo on there. And for those of you who haven't watched my video, this right here is what's called a transfer tape. And they think it's part of the decal, which is okay. But that is what the product they actually bought. It looks real nice. All right, I'm gonna pan back out here. And okay, this is a 2001. It's got some age to it. There's some little nicks and scratches and stuff in it, which are not very apparent until you get in the sunlight. But if you look, there is some off-colored paint here, here, and down here. This has probably been laid over once, just enough to scratch it up. There's some spots up here. I noticed up here. Someone tried to touch-up paint that. I can sand that and buff it, clean it, and I can repaint it, whatever. It's not too hard of a job. Right now, it's not a huge eyesore. This tape right here is because the fasteners are not working. I can get a hold of a fastener kit, no problem. Easy fixes so far. Got a single-sided rear swing arm, so there's no swing arm on this side. Everything looks good on this. It has a center stand, which is super awesome. Someone has shortened up the license plate bracket. It's been probably cut off. or removed completely. Got a helmet lock on this side, single side. The chain looks good. It runs good. We'll start it up for you and let you hear it a little bit. This side, the plastic is awesome. There's no blemishes on the plastic whatsoever. Take a look at the dash for you. The mirrors are in great shape. The windshield's in great shape. The headlights are in great shape. It's got a real good look. This is an older model bike. This is the best of the mix. So older than this, it comes with a carburetor, but this is fuel injected. This is like one of the first years of fuel injection. And other than that, I do know of 2 problems. If you look over here on my pad, I had it parked over here and we got 2 leaks. I think it's actually 1. I'm gonna turn the steering over so we can see. So we have a lot of oil running right down through here. It looks like brake fluid coming from this master cylinder, but actually it's coming from up higher, and it is the seals on the forks. And that's not really that hard to change out. You just gotta deal with it. And it's gotten oil all over the tire, so it's gotta be cleaned up. I've got a little scratch right here on the fender. Nothing really too much to complain about, being the year model it is, and that it's got some miles on it. Runs really good though, because it's a fuel injected engine. It runs really well, and it's going to for a long time. All right, so that's a basic walk around. I love the taillight. I love this single seat fairing they've got on here. To take it off, you have to undo a screw out of here and the other side, and it can be removed, and that's like a trunk area. You can actually put like your lunch or something in there. You can't hold a helmet or nothing like that, but it is what it is. So this bike, it came with what you see here, and he had this Haynes manual. It's a hardback book manual for that year model bike. That's super awesome. That means someone cared for it. They actually wanted to work on it. And I have a few items here on the floor. This is the stock seat, the tall one here. That's what came on it originally from the factory. He has an aftermarket seat. It's called Sargent, I think. And it's a 2-piece. And there's the second piece. That's the passenger section. And when you flip this over, you can see there's a spot here that hooks in. There's a latch, and I gotta find that latch. I know there's a latch on there somewhere, a key switch of some type. And here's an exhaust piece, a muffler. It's a nice one. It's been used. It's been on there. You can see where the strap has been. It needs to be cleaned up. I have the band for it over here. All right, and it comes with these 2 handles. These 2 handles. See if I can hold it up here. This is the wrong one. These 2 handles come out from underneath the seat right here. And so when you put the seat back on, and if you look on the side of this one, you can see they made clearance for this handle to go underneath that. Actually, this one goes to the other side, like that. A good place for a grab on. The bolts for that are inside, underneath that fairing. The next thing we have is a bucket full of little parts, and there is a phone mount on the bike right in front of the tank. I don't think I'll use that. I might, if I have to go somewhere long distance and I need a GPS, maybe. That I don't need. This right here is part of a, he said it was cruise control. I don't think I need that either. And I've got 4 passenger pegs. He took them off of a bike that he bought, and he's been riding it and been neglecting this one, so he decided to sell it. So as you can tell, the passenger pegs are missing, and they're over here in the bucket. So that's the accessories that came with the bike. That's a really, really good deal. We're talking under $3,000, and you have a running, ready to go sport bike. I need to do the fork seals, but other than that, it just needs cleaning. Just cleaning. And I am going to swap that muffler out. So there you have it, the big reveal. It's a beautiful red. I like that. And I'll probably take the OU stickers off and replace it with a Gordon's Garage sticker of some kind, maybe. So I sat down to do this, these passenger pegs, And so I have two sets. Some are smaller than others. And also the width here is narrower than this one. And that's where I'm like, okay, which one goes in here? So it turns out the larger ones actually fit in this bike. And a couple of things you can expect whenever you're working on these bikes that have been pulled apart and put back together several times. This one has an actual horseshoe ring washer right there that holds that pin in place, and this one has the pin still up in here. And if you look, that is some kind of nail or something. I wonder if it comes out. It's gonna take a little bit of work to get out, and I'll show you the one on the other side. It still has this little plate on there. This plate has two little holes, and it's for that bearing and the spring, and that allows it to stop in two different spots. So on this side, you can see it has a proper cotter pin in there, and it still has this plate over here too. That'll sit there and rattle. It might make some people annoyed, you know, when they're riding and they hear something rattling on their bike, but nevertheless, I mean, you can just pull the whole pin out and just leave it open, or put a peg in it. So it looks like in order to put the pegs in, I'm going to have to order some of these little springs and the little bearings so that I can get them in. It looks like we are missing them for sure. Well, I say that this one has a little bearing in it. Maybe if I can work it out, I'll get it in. Did that just come out? Nope. Anyways, so it turns out I think these pegs are to the GSXR that was in the garage with this bike when I bought it, and he took his passenger pegs off, and I asked him, hey, you want those back? And he's like, no, I'll just keep them, I don't want them. So I got an extra set of pegs for some other bike, and now I know. Two other fasteners here. These things are very popular on these sport bikes. What this is a metric bolt, and it's got a little brass threads inside, and whenever you tighten this thing down, this little rubber section squishes down to like that, and it keeps your fairings together. And this rubber piece actually has been that way so long that it's warped and won't come undone. And that's one of the bad parts about using these type of fasteners, is over time and heat and pressure, it gets stuck in this position, and when it's time to take fairings off, it's really, really tough. But anyways, that's that. I've got a spare one here. I needed it. There's a couple spots up there, if you remember, needed a couple of those, and I will hook those up. So for right now, I'm just going to take those pins out, and I'm going to go order some parts online, and hopefully they get here. And oh, I didn't tell you, I went, yeah, you knew I was going to the store. I did pick up the fork seals. Let's open those up, let you see what they look like. So what I got here is fork oil, 10 weight. That's what it calls for, and it calls for half a quart in each fork. So you got two forks, you've got an actual seal, and then this up here is the dirt, what do they call that? It's basically a mud flap to keep stuff getting down to the seal. The seal goes in there below this mud flap, the seal. And so two of those go in each tube, and I gotta take the front end apart and do those tubes. That will happen on the next episode. Well, it appears I doubted myself. I didn't think I was going to be able to put these passenger pegs in, but I think I'm able to put them in. That sits in there real nice. Wiggles just a little. Nothing a washer wouldn't fix. I think I might try to slide a washer in there on top of that. And so I took these parts to the drill press over there on the thing with a wire wheel, and cleaned them up a bit. And yeah, I think I've got this thing set up to where I got the parts here I need, just minus a couple of washers. I even dug out some brand new cotter pins that fit just right. And yeah, so I need 2 washers. So I need to take this over, find 2 washers for this one and 2 washers for that one, and we're going to be back in business just like that. Okay, so this is how I do. I just have a bunch of miscellaneous washers. I just got tossed in one of these little container things, and I just grabbed a good stack of washers. And if you look real close, some of those are thicker than others, and that's because we're acting like shims here. So some might fit, some might not, and some are a little larger diameter than the others, but that's all right. I got several here, so I just need 2 to go between the peg and the housing and the frame there, and I'm sorry, I just need 1 to go in there, but they need to be matching. I need to find a match to it so I can go on the other side, and then of course 1 down here so the cotter pin, that bad boy, has something to spin around on. So yeah, so it's gonna take both my hands. This is gonna be done off camera. I'll stick a couple washers in there, see what happens. Okay, I hope y'all enjoy this. I hope y'all are as interested in this thing as I am. This is one of my favorite bikes right here. I've had a number of bikes, and that tips me off on a couple of the next episodes. You're gonna get kind of a timeline of me and the history of bikes and cars and the kind of builds I've done in the past. And you'll understand more about the VFR, AKA Interceptor. That's going to be a couple of future episodes, but this very next episode, this next weekend, if the parts come in time, what I'm going to be doing is tearing those fairings off, redoing the forks, and we're going to go for our first ride. That sounds like an awesome idea. All right, so with that said, and with the future looking bright red, y'all have a good weekend.